Welcome back to Never Perfect, Always Genuine. We're into Module 3. And I want to invite you to think about who you are when you are with your friends, able to laugh, being silly, unguarded. Who are you then? And maybe you can also think about a time and how you were, how you felt before you learned all this perfectionist and living up to and control thing. When you were just being really you, genuinely you. Now, for me, at one point after my musician career, I became a teacher. And I felt I had to show up in the classroom as really polished, poised, and perfect, the way I'd been showing up to music. Except the little children I was attempting to teach, they wouldn't have that version of me because they couldn't connect with her because it wasn't me. I was playing a role, I was putting on a mask, and the children couldn't connect with that. They wanted the real me. So I had to let down my guard and become vulnerable. Now, when I say vulnerable, please don't think that I started oversharing with children or became irresponsible. It was just like, yes, I had to be willing to be the person I was in this moment with these children and then trust that that would be enough. So releasing my attempt at controlling the classroom, at controlling the children, at controlling what they were supposed to learn. When I let go of the control, actually that opened the door for so much more learning, so much more easeful being together, not having to be like the authority, but being really genuinely with them. That was really the key for them to start learning from me and connecting with me as a person. So let me invite you to really feel into who it is you are when you are unguarded. Who are you when you're with your friends and you can just be yourself, like let your hair down. When there's nothing you have to do and nothing you have to live up to, just feel into who that is. When we've spent years keeping everything together, we forget what it feels like to simply be. And many of the women I work with, they come to me telling me, I don't even know what I want anymore. Or I've been performing so long, like I can't tell what's real. So that's really not failure. It's just a sign that they were really good at adapting to something that is perhaps no longer necessary. Let's just recognize that it has served us in the past because we are here today. We have accomplished and achieved a lot. But let's also recognize that we don't need to make ourselves wrong for that. We can just choose something different right now. And then I'd like to give you a journaling prompt. If I stopped trying to get it right, what would I naturally choose? And I think of this for myself in the way that I can choose anything and then pretend that there will be no consequences. So it is safe to imagine that in your brain, in your mind, right? You don't have to take it out into the real world where there will be consequences. But really just opening up to it in the mind and getting rid of all the consequences and just allowing yourself to feel into, well, what would I choose? That's such a good place to start. Also, if it feels like fun to you, you could actually write yourself a letter. You could write yourself a letter from the place of who you genuinely are, and you can write that letter to who you are right now. right now where you feel that being you is somehow not enough, not acceptable, or whatever it is you think. So think about that version of you who is perfectly genuine, who is not feeling threatened by it, who feels perfectly safe in that place. What would she say to you? And when we talk about journaling, it doesn't have to be something that takes up a lot of time. And it doesn't have to be something you keep safe in a book. Just writing it onto paper will help you look at it differently. And you are free to throw that piece of paper away, to burn it afterwards, or to do with it what you want. You really can come to journaling exactly how it suits you. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. In our next session, we'll be diving into living genuinely. What does it look like applied into real life? What does that look like? Can't wait.